Welcome back, guys. Today I'll be showing you how to make 100k every day in EAFC so you can have a team like mine minus the loans. Now, if you are new around here, we're giving away 9 copies of EAFC, all set to FIFA points to 9 lucky winners. All you've got to do is subscribe and send me proof over on Instagram. And of course, guys, if you do want to get some coins in a bit of a quicker way, well, so if you guys are sick of losing in FIFA because your team isn't good enough or you're not good enough at the game, then right now you need to head over to skycoach.gg. Not only can they coach you in your weekend league or play your games for you, you can buy any amount of coins you want, and all of the services get 10% off right now with the code PRORECALL. Go check them out below. Make sure to click the link in the description and let's get into it. Now, in terms of making 100k a day, you guys know you got to go through the basics first. So of course, the first thing you're going to have to do every single day is get your preview pack, which we always do when I can in a video. Now, what I will say is this year I've had an array of really good ones and really bad ones. Some of them have been phenomenal. We've had Donnarumma, I've had Informs. My first ever preview pack was profitable this year. Now, what you always want to do is check through and see if there is anything like a shadow or a hunter card in there. Unfortunately, we've not got it today. Now, of course, your next step, you can go over to your club, go over to your stadium section, and there's a few things you might want to go through. First of all, when you go into the club, you've got all of these sections which will have tradable features that you just have sent to your club at some stage. You've opened a pack, you've not really taken much note of it, and you've just got a ton of stuff that you can just get rid of here. I don't think many people are going to buy the magenta or coral sets of seeds, but if I sell all 4 of these, it gets me a K. And if you have a look through, I probably have, okay, fair enough, I only have what, 10 of them maybe, but at 250 coins a pop, it's 2.5k for free. And of course, you take that 2.5k over to this section of the market. Now, I talk about it enough, and if you guys haven't seen it in videos before, managers via France, England, Netherlands, or Brazil is a brilliant starting point, but that's not what you're here for. You're here for method. Now we're going to start off with a pretty simple one. We got Gold Team of the Week, Defender, and Bundesliga. With this one, we're left with Hummels and Grimaldo, and arguably the first time Hummels has ever been usable for probably like 3 or 4 FIFAs. We finally got him at 70 pace, which is actually really decent for him. Now, looking at this, we're looking at around the 30k mark for these, so they actually have a reasonable value. You're not completely sort of knocked down just because it's Hummels. He's actually held a decent bit of weight. Now, you can see there, it looks like he's going for about 30k. You saw Grimaldo was around the 40 mark, so they're not miles away from each other, but most of your filter this time is going to be with your Hummels cards. Now, of course, we can pick him up for as low as 10,000 coins, so it is just a case of trying to get the big snipes, and missing a massive Grimaldo snipe. Oh my god, that would have been pretty brilliant. Now, I do believe we can sell our Hummels is on for about 27k, which means EA tax on this one, 10% is 2.7, so we half it for 1,350. So you're down by a K, down by, that means we're making 150 coins. So I'd actually say go to here. You're making, I think, 650 coins a card, I think there, which is a decent starting point. And if you want to make a little bit more, just knock it down that one extra bit and you'll be making a K. Now, we've missed that Grimaldo, which would have been about a 30k profit, which is pretty gutting. I can imagine a bot got him, so I suppose that's a little bit less salt in the wounds that it wasn't a real person beating me. But with this one, 25k, we should be able to get another failed Grimaldo. I mean, it seems like he's definitely a good one to be going for. Okay, right, I'm sick of losing this guy. We're going to move on. Now, another filter you can do with Grimaldo in as well is Spanish and just Team of the Week. You've got Saul and Grimaldo, who similarly are very close to each other in value. Now, I think with this one, it is just a slight change. Obviously, you've still got Grimaldo in there, but it might be for those of you who have a bit more coins where you can buy 5 or 6 Grimaldo cards or 5 or 6 at once of Sal, who are a little bit more expensive, where some of you might only be able to afford 2 or 3 Hummels cards. Now, of course, if you go over to the Premier League and pop it to a minimum of 10,250 in French, we've got Nkunku, we've got Saliba, we've got Diaby, we've got a nice array of players. Of course, Varane is there, but he's not really going to come up. Now, Nkunku is actually the lowest, I think, at the minute. Diaby and him are sitting pretty similarly at around the 30k mark. So both of them have had a bit of a hit recently. We do talk about this filter a bit. I think we spoke about it a couple of times. It is a really good one to be hitting at the minute. So at 29k, EA tax is about 1.5, near enough. So realistically, you want to be sniping probably at the 27 mark, I'd say. And then maybe you want to try and push them to 30k if you can. And then you're looking at a 1.5k profit. If you sell them on at 29k, you're looking at around sort of a 600 coin profit. So still a very decent value for it. Obviously, you've got Diaby here, you've got Nkunku, you've got Saliba, I think, isn't miles away now. And of course, you can snipe Saliba and Varane on the same filter, but it's going to be a little bit hit and miss with that one. It's not necessarily always going to come with some good fruits. Now this next one, pretty simple. Midfielder, Premier League and Manchester City. If you go over to, I think, around 30k for Bernardo Silva, and then of course we have De Bruyne a little bit higher up, but both of them sniperable on this filter. I think De Bruyne, off the top of my head, or off the top of Footbin's head, is 77k. So he's a little bit more expensive. There is a bit of a jump up there, but he's definitely sniperable with Bernardo here, and you can see both of them are attainable on this filter. So if we pop this down, it looks like maybe 25k. So you've got a nice little mark where you can be sniping this bad boy here, and then you can move on to De Bruyne. Now I would just do midfielder, Man City, and minimum 10-250, but I believe that the other Portuguese midfielder, I think you have to put Playstyles Plus in for this one. I believe the other midfielder ruins it, but from the looks of things, maybe not. So actually, take off Playstyles Plus, just do it midfielder, and we should have the likes of Rodri in there as well. But currently Rodri is extinct on the market, so that explains that one. So Rodri is available on this one, but he's currently extinct, I assume, because he's the cheapest 89. I'm not too sure, but I assume it's something to do with that, or someone knows something about Rodri that I do not know. Now you can take this one over to Belgium, of course, set the minimum to 10-250, and you don't want to set a special on this one, don't want to have midfielder, of course, and what you're going to be left with is Doku and of course De Bruyne. So this one's going to sit you at around 50k for Doku, and that's actually a really solid filter because Doku has dropped a bit, so you can snipe a bit more on him. There are going to be better snipes on Doku because he's an inform. Simply, people do just make mistakes on them a little bit more. De Bruyne is one where people are going to list more correctly, so you've got a nice little filter there as well. Now, for those of you with more coins, there is another option which we have over in Liverpool. Of course, they do have some specials in the defender section, of course, with Virgil van Dijk, but you can't really do a filter on him. However, we do have some forwards you can. So you've got the likes of Diaz and you've got the likes of Salah's inform, which are actually surprisingly close to each other in value. So if you go around the 600k mark, for 650 really, you're looking at a couple of Salah's informs. You've got one there at 612, which is actually potentially good enough to buy. I mean, what does he go for? Like 670? Oh, I mean, that actually might be... I don't have the coins for it, but that might be a steal, guys. So it's definitely a filter that's worth doing. You are going to need really a mil to be doing this filter because you're going to have no coins spare if you only have 600k. I want to say that's a good deal, but I'm not actually sure. Now, if you are new around here, make sure to subscribe because we have better filters and better deals every single day. And of course, if you do want to be in for the chance of winning the giveaway, you've got to enter. So go get your entries in over on Instagram, and I'll see you tomorrow.